So today's video is going to be part two. Today's video is part two of my personal houseplant tour. Part two. Today's video is going to be part two. Hello, my planty pals. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Pearl, and this is my channel, Plants with Pearl. Thank you so much for watching. I live in Canada, and I grow houseplants in my basement. Put them up on my website, www.plantswithpearl.ca, and I ship them all over Canada. So if that sounds like something you want to take part in, make sure to check out all of our links down below. Sign up for our newsletter, and our website will be restocked in the coming months. It's almost shipping season. We're so excited. Also, thank you so much for 90 subscribers. I can't believe that we're that close to 100. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm definitely still learning as I go, but we're having fun. Today's video is going to be part two of my personal houseplant collection tour. When I originally filmed the footage, it was going to be one video, but it would have been way too long, so we split it up. So if you haven't watched part one, make sure to check it out. I'll include the link down below. And without further ado, let's get to it. Here is that other black velvet alocasia I told you about. Again, this one also flowered and did not die and continued to give me leaves afterwards. So that was a cool experience. We've got a variegated philodendron Brill Marks. This plant's got a lot of personality. It's got several little growth point situations happening in here, but I just keep attaching all of them to the same pole. So we got a nice full theatrical looking plant there. Part of it is reverted, but the other part of it is really highly variegated. So I'm just leaving it alone because, you know, just you do you, boo. You do you. Behind our variegated Brill Marks, we've got a beauty. This is my snowdrift. She has been cut back many times. This is a really slow growing, can be kind of finicky plant. She is beautiful. I just love, oh, look at the pink. I love this pink color that you get when the new leaves come in. They're so pretty. They're these beautiful creamy white colors with the little green flecks, and then as they harden off, the color will turn more greeny, but you'll still have those beautiful flecks, and they are just so pretty. Next door, we have our variegated Million Hearts Dishija. This plant has been cut back so many times. If you follow me on TikTok, you've seen a video where it looked probably about 3 times as lush and full as it is now. And that's, again, just simply because as a plant grower and seller, I find myself having to sacrifice my own plants. Not sacrifice, only temporarily, of course, because they do bounce back. But sometimes I've got to chop up my plants so I can make more and share them with you guys. I love that some of the vines on this are just pure white. Like, you're not helping the plant at all. You are purely aesthetic. That guy started out as probably in 2019, I think. I've had it for many years. It's been cut back and repot several times since then, and it just keeps coming back more and more lush. Here is my beautiful, show-stopping, fabulous, incomparable, perfect philodendron giganteum blizzard. Her new leaf is, wow, just look at that. Oh my god, you're so pretty. She was upstairs next to the Thai for a while, but I had to make some room up there, so now she's down here and she's having a great time. Got a little philodendron jungle boogie. This plant's definitely looked better. This is another plant I am very neutral about, but I keep around because I do like this leaf shape. And it's fine. I want my plant table to be full. You don't have to love all of your plants, and there's also nothing wrong with getting rid of the plants that you don't love. So if a plant's not working for you anymore, just give it away or toss it, whatever works for you. Here is another ghost. We do have some repeats in our collection. I mean, I don't care if I have doubles, and this plant is so pretty. So she made the cut, and now she lives up here on our table. All right, so as you come up my stairs, I've got this Adansonii in the little corner of my stairwell. Gets lots of light, as you can see. from above, and then every once in a while when the light's just right, there's a little window up there and it does get a little bit of direct light. She is gonna climb the wall, remember? All right, so this is where all the good stuff is. So if you've stuck around for this long, congrats, because you've made it. So this is where most of my favorite plants are. I would be lying to you if I said I didn't have favorite plants. My favorite plants currently include the Monstera Chai and, of course, always my philodendron Florida green, because I'm sorry, you can't tell me she's not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Look at her, she's huge. I have had this philodendron Florida green since 2020. I can't tell you specifically what I have done to encourage her to grow this big, because when I got her, she looked absolutely nothing like this. She was very small. I think when I first got her, I had her in a pot probably about this big. She just wanted to be real big, real fast, and so I made sure that she had enough support so that the stem felt nice and strong and lots of good light. And a couple years later, this is what she has rewarded me with. The leaf shape has done a lot of changing as it matures. You can see here on the less mature leaf, there's not as many like defined little slices through the leaves, and then directly compared with this guy, you can see the slits. Oh, it's just so cool. This plant is very precariously on this pole here. I don't know what I'm gonna do because she just actually got back to the top of the pole again. She actually bloomed for me last year. It was in June. And I collected the pollen, and I very recently attempted to pollinate this philodendron, my philodendron subhassatum, which is currently in bloom. And there's the little bloom there. I have no idea if it's gonna work, but we'll see. So this is actually another one of the OG plants. I couldn't remember if I had one or two left, but this is another. This is my Peperomoides. I can't say it. I'll put it on the screen, but it's my Pilia. They want to flop by themselves. As you can see, she's got lots of babies growing out of her pot that I just leave alone in here because she's lost most of her earlier leaves. So I like leaving the babies in the pot because that way she's still got some greenery at the bottom. And she's on a 4-foot pole. She's almost reached the top. I've taken some of her little babies and pin them up onto her pole just to kind of help them grow up so I can keep the green going. She has been around since, I want to say 2018, but it could be 2019. And here you are looking at my final remaining succulent. I actually used to have a bunch of succulents growing, and then I realized I don't like growing succulents, so I got rid of all of them, except for this little donkey tail. The donkey tail is cute, so the donkey tail stayed. However, I am held hostage by this plant because if you've ever tried to repot a donkey tail, it's kind of traumatizing. They lose a lot of leaves. Like, oh, yeah, see, there you go. So yeah, it needs a repot really badly, but last time I repotted it, it was unreal how many little beans it lost, and I just don't want to go through that right now. So it's okay, it's doing good. I don't move it, and I give it some water, and that's our relationship. Next door to its friend, the philodendron lime fiddle. This is another plant that I'm pretty neutral on. I do like the leaf shape. I do like the variegation. It's pretty subtle, it's very pretty. It's just, I don't know, it's been up here for probably about 6 months now. It's fine, you're fine. And of course, who doesn't love a good Thai constellation? This beauty has been growing up here for just over a year. 1, 2, 3 are the 3 original leaves that were on this plant when I brought it up to come live in my collection. You can see like the change in the size from the first few leaves to the last couple has been pretty quick, and no complaints here, we love that. It was recently repotted, so it hasn't given me a new leaf in a while, but that's not abnormal. I definitely find with the ties that they take a long time to pop out a new leaf after it has been repotted. Giving me one little secondary fenestration, and that's, I would love more, don't get me wrong, but I'll take it, I'll take the one. And here's your reminder that brown spots on leaves that have really white variegation are normal and just gonna happen. And here, of course, we have our friend from one of our last videos, the variegated philodendron subhassatum. Got that beautiful red under there, got the variegation on the leaves. Honestly, gorgeous plant, 10 out of 10. I'd say actually this plant's probably been up here for about 8 months. And we grew it in the basement from a cutting. Wow, look, another philodendron Florida Ghost. This we pulled from the basement because so there's this thing online where people will try to sell you a philodendron Florida Ghost mint for more money, and let me tell you, that's a scam. Some of our ghosts mint, and all that means is that when the color is filling in on these leaves, they don't fill in all the way, so it kind of looks, it stays minty, right? It kind of looks like someone's like colored it in with a pencil crayon or something. Some ghosts do this. It's not anything that you can really promise from a plant. But yeah, so if someone's trying to sell you one of these for more than they would sell a regular ghost, they're not being nice. I'll say that, they're not being nice. It just randomly happens to some plants. Some plants do it, some plants don't, so. But she's pretty. All right, now you may be saying, Pearl, what happened to your variegated Peru? Well, she had completely grown up, this trellis, and well, frankly, it was time to take cuttings so that I can make more plants so that I can sell them online to you guys. And sometimes it hurts to cut back plants. This is one of those ones. It's definitely gonna punish me. It's gonna take a long time before it sprouts for me again. I have done that before. It does not like it. She's healthy, she's just not happy because she got an involuntary haircut. Now in contrast, you can see this incredibly happy philodendron subhassatum. This is a 4-foot pole. So she has just recently outgrown that, and she is in bloom and has been for a little bit now, which is very exciting. This subhassatum, I believe actually we've had it growing maybe 1.5 years. Again, she was plucked from the basement because we really liked how big her leaves were and wanted to continue that, and she did not disappoint. This is my variegated Adansonii. This plant is definitely in the running for one of the slower growers. Not quite as slow as the variegated Peru, but she is slow, but she's beautiful. Look, this plant is very special and is the only one that we have of it. So we are in the first stage of its plan. I'm gonna grow this out probably for about 3, 4, 5 more leaves, and then she will get a really big haircut so we can start propagating these guys and eventually have them to offer for sale. And right below our variegated friend, we've got the beautiful philodendron pastazanum. I think I'm saying that correctly. Again, I'm not a scientist, just a girl who really loves plants. A very cool plant. This is what we would call a crawling philodendron. You could also make this climb if you wanted to, but naturally it wants to grow along the soil. So that's why I've got this in this nice long pot here. I had this one specifically up here in my collection for, I want to say about 3 months now. She has given us a couple leaves since we brought her up, and she's looking really good. And last, but oh my God, certainly not least, we've got my plant wall. So yes, this is just a painted regular wall, and I am attaching the plants that are climbing up with command hooks, as well as I'm also allowing some of the roots to just naturally grab on. Some of them I do detach. Is it gonna destroy your wall? No. Is it gonna wreck the paint? Yes. So I mean, if you think that's worth it to you, then by all means, I definitely recommend doing this because look, it's like I'm in a jungle. Starting off in the corner here. Okay, starting off in the really sad corner. I have actually given up on this Brantianum for a couple weeks, but then she's not actually attached to the wall. I just shoved her back here. I have my APPAREL Pearls and Jade. This came with me from my old apartment. I actually used to have this guy climbing up my wall, my hallway in my old apartment, and the leaves got to be the size of my hand. So that was cool, but I moved and it had to come down. So that's okay, we brought it with me, we did a reset, and now she's back on the wall. And she has finally started to attach herself up here. See that? That's all her. She's not being held on by the clip until down here. Getting lots of really beautiful variegation, and hopefully from here on out, the leaves will start to get bigger as well. So that's exciting. We've got a Micans. This Micans is not climbing the wall by itself at all. It's purely just really long vines. So I've just like looped a bunch of the vines around, and then some of them have started to grow back up. And so they kind of weave in and out of each other. And then right next to our Micans, we've got Jose Buono. So this plant is very heat temperature sensitive, and not the actual like growth of the plant itself, but the variegation. So the variegation you can see down here from last summer, great variegation, really beautiful, very pronounced. Got some more going on here. These were being grown in the tent. Then we moved it up here last summer, and it kept giving us a little bit of variegation here, and then fall hit. And you can see while she's still growing and giving us beautiful, healthy leaves, the variegation has definitely left the building. And that's okay, we knew that was gonna happen, but I just wanted to have like a plant that was really gonna kind of jump out of the wall in between these two. When it heats back up here in the summertime, I'm sure she'll start variegating for me again. It just gets really cold in my house at nighttime, so the fact that these plants are having a good time at all is kind of a miracle. And then of course, if you've watched my Plants We Grow video, we have the incredibly stunning, beautiful, gorgeous variegated APPAREL pinnatum. There is a bunch of plants in this pot. I have used this plant several times as a mother plant for our store. This plant is probably 2 years old, but it's been cut back a bunch of times, and she's been on the wall for, oh, has it been a year now? I think I started the plant wall a year ago now. And what's really exciting about the APPAREL pinnatum is, as you can see up at the top there, we're really starting to get some bigger, more fun-shaped leaves, because she's finally realized she is nice and secure on the wall. So that's exciting. The next couple leaves are just gonna get bigger and better. Can't wait. And of course, our APPAREL skeleton key is having a grand old time over here. We've got lots of these really cool, pronounced, maturing leaf shape going on. I love this one. Look how skinny. Look how skinny that little tail is. It's so little. And we're also getting pinholes from her, which is a really great sign. She's just very happy, and she thinks she's grown in a jungle somewhere. So nobody tell her that we're in Canada and it's the middle of the winter. And this plant is another plant we've chopped back a couple times. I think I've probably been growing this one for about a year, but she's only been on the wall for a couple months now. I don't know if this plant is gonna stay here, but it's here right now, so we'll include it. This is my Philodendron gigas. I do want one more plant to grow up the wall here. And so my intention is was to put this little gigas here, but it just doesn't seem to be having the best time. So I could put it on the wall shortly, but I'm kind of leaning towards probably switching it out with a different plant that will be much happier there. Because I mean, look at it. He's real sad. Well, my Planty pals, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you saw anything that you haven't seen before or something that you like. I just love plants so much. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to check out our website, www.plantswithpearl, as well as follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all that good stuff, and of course YouTube. Yeah, and if you are a plant parent in Canada, I can't wait to sell you some plants. So don't forget to subscribe to our email. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.